Yo, we the sons of Luis. We the sons of Luis. Damn. We the sons of Luis. We the sons of Luis. So this live is just gonna be about culture. This shit just gonna be about culture. This one. Hold on. Man, you gotta excuse me because I wasn't expecting to get emotional. This is... So, fuck, man, this is who I do it for. You know what I mean? I've been strong, bro. When I tell you strength, man, fucking strength, dog. The legacy carry on. We the sons of Luis. Louis, that's what they call it. It's really Louisville. Man, it's really Louisville. That's really it. And so, we from the tribe of Shabazz. Shabazz. You know what I mean? My life represents unity across the board. So across the board, we represent unity. And what I'm looking for, there we go. Bad. This is where we from. So you seen I just showed you Muhammad though. That so people ask me where Muhammad come from, why they call you Muhammad. Well, that's because we from the tribes of Shabazz. You know what I mean? We the Centrillians. We from the Central District. That's why they call it Central High School, because it was in the center part of the bank of the Ohio River at the fall, which is what they call Louisville. So my mama went to school with Muhammad Ali. Mammoth Cave. Okay? So how ancient is this history? How ancient are we, right? How ancient are we? How far do this go back? Why do they keep selling us the African narrative? They can't sell me nothing. They can't sell me on my history. Because I got elders in my family that I sit with that gave me my history. You feel me? I have ancestors who were living who told me my history. I have literally written notes from my mama telling me who my great-grandmama was because she wasn't going to be here to tell me in person. So she had to write to me, because when you write, you really scribe it into the ethers. That's what they don't tell you. So your words can surpass you. It's like, imagine if the person who wrote this is no longer with us in the physical no more. That's how Michael Jackson's estate is still able to be so rich. The world's great treasures. Man, that's crazy. The world, Chico, and everything that's in it. So, culturally, that's who I am. You know, that's who my mama, that's on Cardinal. She the Cardinal. That's why we rap the red and white. Y'all be looking at the flags, but you don't pay attention to the colors. We are one empire. You know, Austria, Winston-Salem State. That's why we had to change the code. We had to flip the code. We telling you we getting away from the democracy when we went away from the red, white, and blue. That was the colors for the university. Now it's red and white. You feel me? Because that's the ram that come directly out of Exodus 35. That's the house of Ammon. That's literally the house of the rams. So it don't have anything to do with alumni status. It got everything to do with degrees. Do you understand? That's the my son. So, like, just a deep concept. Like when I went to the House of the Rams, when I went there, when I was an attendee there, myself, that young, in the all white. I'm in all white. I'm in all white like a knight. So when I went there, my goal was really to unite the community, always with the streets to the university, giving the streets access to the university and vice versa. So the way we did that, my freshman year, me and my Nigerian brother Eze, we started Ram Connect because we was connecting the Rams. You feel what I mean? And we connected, it's called a communiversity. And I give credit to my brother Uni from Central Station on Remont, credit for the term communiverse, the communiversity that's connecting the city with the university. That's what they were established for. But what happened was, like with the University of Prague, right? That was in Bohemia, but you had people from Germany, you had people from Austria, you had people from the Netherlands, you had people from England, you had people from Morocco going to the University of Prague. You had people from France, you know what I mean? So for the indigenous people of Bohemia, right? Tapelo, Fela, Dela, Assalamu alaikum, very loyal. There. That's the code. That's it. Those the Turks. We the Turks. Because that's the Turkish territory, because that's where the Turkish tobacco was shipped from. And all them women you see is the descendants of the factory workers that worked in the tobacco factories. And then before that, they were the ones that was growing the tobacco in Walnut Cove, all the way to Caswell County and Durham, and even all the way into Kentucky, Darrell. But the Carolinians, that's a C right there for Carolina. You feel what I mean? The sun and the moon is making the sea. You feel me? So that's the nation. That the Turk, Mount Ararat is when you look up where Mount Ararat is, it's gonna tell you Turkey. However, Mount Ararat is right here in the Trefo. It's Pilot Mountain. You've been to Mount Ararat. A lot of y'all have been to Mount Ararat. But I got some time today. I got a break from my kids, man. So, man, I'm a full-time dad. This is what I do. We build. You know, I'm a father first. Like, me becoming a father made me want to, like, teach. Like, the first thing I wanted to do when my son was born was teach women, mothers, how to do their, to write their own nativity deed, and the fathers to write it. And the mother is the matriarch, so she got to sign off on it. So that's like the flip code off the Magna Carta where it was written, but King John stamped it. Now it's the Johannes, which is the woman. That's the Joan of Arc. And so you pulling, the Joan of Arc was in the projects. She lived in the projects. And she came out the projects and raised a whole French army. You feel me? And she was exiled for it. But, you know, dang, I wish I could get both of these pictures up here at the same time. But I know where to go. I know what to look for. All right, bet. All right, hold on. So that was me at WSSU Homecoming in 2015. Was it 2015? Yeah, 2015 for sure. I was that guy, bro. Like I literally had built my own. I created myself, bro. I come from the north side. You feel me? I come from the north side of Winston. I'm just the north side niggas. Bro, we used to, like I'm telling you, we used to run wild on the north side via Murray Road, Shadowline Drive, University, Dogwood, you know what I mean? Oak Summit, really north side. You feel what I'm saying? Real north side. So that's where I'm from. I showed you my mama crew. Them the daughters of Batabra. You know what I'm saying? That became the mothers of the North. The daughters of Batabra became the mothers of the North. You feel me? And so that's who my mama. So hold on, I gotta come here real quick so I can show you why I got it. So you see Dorothea Creek? That's my grandma. That's Dorothy. That she lived forever through them creeks. That water you can't kill water. Like water don't die. Water don't die. They can't dry up. They can hate you, but they can't dry up your creeks. Well, creeks, the bill. Man, that's so crazy, man. I'm telling you, bro, I never knew that. Number one, that creek flowed through my mama's backyard, and I never knew it. I read about it in Atlanta. It's called the Muddy Creek. I read about that shit in Atlanta. My son gave me the book at the Atlanta Vintage. He gave it to his mama, and his mama gave it to me at the Atlanta Vintage bookstore. Y'all been to Lenox Mall, but how many of y'all have been to the Atlanta Vintage bookstore? The Atlanta Vintage bookstore. I was there. My son gave me the book. Gave his mama the book to give to me, and it was called The Road to Salam. I'm in Atlanta, bro. I opened that joint up. Man, they had a pamphlet in there about the Moravian Church. It said 1453, and then it had another date on it, and it had a picture of John Huss on the joint. I'm like, what? Crazy. And it gave the history of it. That's how I know about all of this. I'm like, wow. It's deep. It's deep. Sheep. Son of Luis and the Dorothea Creek. And the Jones Creek is right here. The Jones Creek is right. That's Saratown. So you see it say Mount Ararat. That's what I wanted to show y'all. You feel me? So it's all coded. Like, and when you ride through Mount Ararat, you're going to see all my code. Like, bro, mama marked all through there from the Ararat River, the I-26, mile 126 mark, bro. Come on, bro. Like, this is the Sarah. So I was telling y'all on the last joint, Sarah is the Sioux. So the Lakota Sioux come from Sarah. And we went west. You know what I mean? We went west. That's like, look at it like, let's shift the map. Oh, that's what I wanted to show y'all. Let's shift the map, right? To make west, north. Let's make west, north. And we're going to make east, south. So looking at it from a comedic perspective from that angle, we came from here and went west out to the desert. You feel what I'm saying? And up into the Black Hills, that's where the Lakota Sioux come from. So when we went back to South Dakota, hold on one second. When we went back to South Dakota, we had went back to South Dakota. This is in the Black Hills. This was on this date, but this was really like September 9th. September 8th, I believe, is when we went to the 10 Cup. Bro, that's the Lord to say 10 Cup. So there's 10 Cup from the same place he from. This is where he came from. But I'm telling you, they come from so Lakota Sioux is suing is really just a staple to say, oh, they came. That's why he pointing to that. Bro, I just got that revelation right now, live on my Instagram. Crazy Horse is pointing back to where he came from. Bro, that's Crazy Horse. That is, bro. Crazy Horse is pointing back to the land from which he came. That's why I'm facing that way and I'm going towards that direction. Bro, that's crazy, dog. I was always wondering, like, what is he pointing at? He pointing towards the Carolinas, bro. He's pointing towards the Carolinas. And when we were up there, me, my brother, my empress, give her the respect that she got. She is the empress. And if you need your astrology charts read, that is who you go through. But you got to know how to get to her. She's a wizard. Like, she's a wizard. Was they technically a witch? Like a witch. A witch is a wise woman. Let's make that clear. But you got to know how to get to her. I'm not about to just put her shit out. Like, nope. You got to know how to get to her. But when you get to her, she'll read you better than a damn book would. So it was me, her, my son, who was 1 at the time, my brother, my big bro. We the only 2 children of Darrell. You feel me? So we had went there to pay homage to my grandmother. We got my brother book in the Lakota Museum. And Chamberlain, along the Missouri River. Yeah, real Lakota. Like, this is really, don't play about it. We don't play about it. We play any other type of game. We play 2K with you. We play Madden, but this is something that we do not play about. The magnifico. Siro parira ira. Body poco. Fada shiro. Locotelo. La cuta disilato. Sticata to teloto. Tocopo pa. Papetia. Falai roku paira. Isirira. Te lavareve. Bucotore vedasila. La ecoida. E la fire. E la paeta. Bro, that's so crazy, man. Oh, man. How well do you know the streets? Yeah. 2300. They say Jackson, and you look up the etymology of the word Jackson, it's the sons of Jacob. The sons of Jacob. That's why, man, my grandma took me here. We voyaged as a family. That's how we used to move as a unit. If we were traveling, we traveled in numbers of 10 or more. You heard? So when we went to 2300 Jackson Street, while Michael Jackson was still alive, this was in 01. This was in 01, son. And I just wanted to give y'all some code. So I'm the descendant of Sophia Adams on my patriarchal side, on my daddy side. We descendants of the Adams. You feel what I'm saying? Jackson, Jacob is a knock to Louisville. That's Kentucky. You see Kentucky Street right here? And then under that, you see Tennessee. That's Upper and Lower Egypt. And that's why, like, on the other side of Gary, Indiana, you got Niles, Michigan. And this is where 65, that's our connection from the Alabama Creek all the way up to Jackson Street. You heard? And so you see Carolina. It don't say North Carolina. It say Carolina, bro. I told you 10 Cup pointing to Carolina Street. And then it's tied right to Virginia. Do you get the point? Because that's where Sophia Adams come from. And on my dad's side, my great grandmother was Odell Slade because she married into the Slade via Leland Slade. But her maiden name was Odell Nichols. You feel me? So the Slades married into the tribes from Virginia. Nichols Place. Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy, Michael Jackson. That's crazy. Man, that is crazy. Prospect, that's them Yellow Jackets. And then Diamond is my niece. Tennessee is where my daughter was born. You feel me? Golly, bro. This Michael Jackson. That's what bro. That's 2300 Jackson Street on the corner. And when I remember when we went, we had came in this street right here. Like, we came down Jackson. And then my mama was with me. My dad was with me. My grandma, my step grandfather, Jackie Jordan. You feel me? My Uncle Nay, my Aunt Amber, they all was with us on this trip. We was actually going to Minnesota. You feel me? But we stopped in Gary from Louisville. Louisville. So 2300 Jackson Street was right here. And we had went up here. Like right up in here. That's where they shot the movie at. That's where that joint was filmed at, right here. This was the school. That's my favorite movie of all time, bro. The American Dream. Yeah, bro. I come from Sophia Adams. Sophia Adams was the mother of Lula Adams. Lula Adams was... No. Sophia Adams was the mother of Nora Adams. Nora Adams was the mother of Lula Adams. Lula Adams was the mother of Bertha Spencer. Right? So Bertha Spencer was Adam's blood, descendant of Sophia, but she gave birth to my grandma Viola, who was a Kritz. And the Kritz was the first German family to nationalize or to naturalize in the American but when it was still under British rule. They were the first family to naturalize. So they got that system from my family blood from Germany. They are from Germany. It's in Southwest Germany. And it's like 11 cities combined as one. That territory. If you're from Germany, you know what I'm talking about. And that's part of my bloodline too. And so Viola Kritz married my grandfather, who was the son of Odell Nichols Slade. So that's where you get Slade from. And so my grandma Viola gave birth to my father, Gordon Slade. And then here came Gordon Quentin Slade. So that's where you get Algonquin. So my mama had to get with Gordon in order to bring 10 Cup back. So that's the Jones flip off of 10 Cup. Going back to the Slade, bringing the Sioux back home to Sarah. Because they from Patrick County, Virginia. And they came down 21st Street to get to Carolina. From Patrick Henry County to Stokes County to Rockingham County to Forsyth County. And that's why I'm a Trefo baby. Does this make sense? Dang, 2300 Jackson Street. Hey, send this to Janet. Everybody send this to Janet Jackson. No, send it to Jermaine. Send it to Jermaine Jackson. Man, dang, God, Lord. This is it. The blood that's inside of me is inside of you. Do you know that this is our Set and Heru, right? So Heru is what I learned was wisdom. Heru is the surrogate mother. So the surrogate mother step in when the mother is no longer present. So in ancient Kemet, you call that Heru. That's why she got the calf hooves. And she carrying the moon. That's the moon goddess. So Heru, I don't even know why I'm telling you. How Kevin Gates speak, I don't even know. I can't believe I'm telling y'all this shit. Heru came to me. The baddest, brother. Oh my God. Her energy is like when the bad bitch walk in the room. She came to me and she said, boy, it's going to be okay. She showed me things that only my mama could show me, but it was wisdom. It was wisdom. So like in the alarm clock, when y'all see me talking, when I went from in chapter 2, and I say my mama came to me, that's Heru. That's wisdom. That's the Cardinals. That's the cardinal point because that's the Rams. You know what I'm saying? That's the Ram. That's the motherfucking Rams, dog. You feel me? And this is cosmic right there. You feel me? The House of Rams became the Bulls because they got the calf hooves. Now we some wolves. You feel me? From the north side to the south side. You know what I'm saying? From the north to the south. That's why we so trill and Happy Hill, like Napoleon Hill, remixed because I'm Napoleon Trill. Don Trump, I'm Don Muhammad. This my art of the deal. You feel me? So, for real. This is what I wanted to show y'all. So, WSSU homecoming coming up. I challenge you not to drink. Let's do a non-drinking challenge for homecoming this year. I bet you, man, y'all ain't even gonna get to this part. But I bet you won't do it. I bet they won't drink for homecoming. No drink homecoming. Stay sober. I dare you to stay sober the homecoming. Yeah. The real. This is 1991. My mama was in the parade. You feel what I'm saying? The same parade I was in 2015, she was in 91. She was in 91. You feel me? And again, she's coming from the streets. This Darrell. And Slim. My mom born in 1951. You feel me? That's a knock to my apes. And her mama born in 1935. That's Kalamazoo. You know what I'm saying? So you know it's true. 06. Yeah. And then my great-grandma Bertha, who I was just talking about, was born in 1906. You feel me? So this is the legacy. For real. So no drinks for homecoming. And I stand on that. We gotta set ourselves apart. This is what the minister Louis Farrakhan, who come from the House of Rams, would preach. He literally he came from the House of Rams. So imagine we coming like the fruit from Islam. You feel me? But we coming from the House of Lords. That's where this is the House of the Rams. You heard me? That's the House of the Rams. So imagine if we the first HBCU that's sober, that practice sobriety, you feel what I'm saying, throughout the joint. We setting the tone. And instead of parties, we got luncheons. That's what you call maturity. We like this. That's the bond. That's the maturity bond. Here go this shit right there. Pull up. This is the scheduled events. This shit epic. This game changing right there. This is what we discussing. Live in trust? The fuck? So for the people that is the creative writers of hip hop can come and create music, lines, you know what I'm saying? Art, line art, and perform it live. You feel me? Proprietorship. That's restoration. Proprietorship. Future contracts. Man, come on, dog. Just the same old cue. That's it, man. So we doing that book drive too. So if you come, we asking that you come bringing books. If you go to the Righteous Lord's book drive on the No More Suits page, you'll see the books to contribute. And so all of that is going to go to O'Kelly. We don't profit off of none of that. That's all going back into the O'Kelly library. But yeah, so I had to pull that drop up. I'm going to pull it up one more time. One more time. Okay, look, here go another. That's South Dakota. That's South Dakota. We took her to South Dakota. We took Darrell to South Dakota. Back to her ancestral roots. You know what I'm saying? And you see the fourth book there. That's the one that we giving away at the event. And we giving that to the library too. You know what I'm saying? So that's Crazy Horse pointing back. You see, I got the ram. We repping from where we come from, and he pointing back to the house of the Rams. Salam. Salam. That's salam. That's salam. It's a letter from my mama. Boy, I knew you was gonna shine. Even when I seen you in Atlanta, you wasn't even born yet. The doctors was telling me, you can't have no baby, Darrell. What the fuck? You too old. Your tubes tied. But God was like, you gonna have a son, and he gonna shine. You like the golden child. You're a miracle to the world, young boy. You're a miracle to the world. And even though I'm gone, I'm still with you. I'm talking to you through spirit. That's the Haru. Yes, son. You live through me, but we living through God. It's a legacy. Keep it all in the family. Let your light shine. Don't be scared. That's only the devil. He's saying, no, you can't do that. But like God did, he gave birth. She gave birth. Typo. And she true to that. God, man. That's the Christ principle. She gave birth to God child. Damn. So, you know, that's where the pivot is. You feel what I'm saying? The degree, that's the border with us is where they call the Holy Spirit, we call the mother, and we recognize that as such. And they tried to take my mother from me from a metaphysical perspective to give me the Holy Spirit. You feel what I mean? But the Holy Spirit was inherited already. You feel me? But you can't have the Father and the Son without the Mama. So we give homage to Mama. That's Mammoth. See, that's Mammoth. But read up on the mummies of Mammoth Cave. The mummies of Mammoth Cave. The mummies. Mummies. Mummies for dummies. You know what I'm saying? The mummies of Mammoth Cave. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. I had it put up earlier. At the beginning of this live. I'm just flowing, bro. These lives just be me flowing. I would show y'all these buffalo. I would show y'all that, but I want to pull that receipt up from Mammoth Cave one more again. That was 2 weeks ago on Friday. I pulled those receipts up. Here go one right here. Here go another one. This is another one. This is an article. This is what they found in. This is what they found in Kentucky. Mummies. Hold on. Where it got in there, Aborigines, somewhere it say Aborigines in one of these articles. It might be this one. But, yeah, mummy, and that's a long line. It's a long line. I'm going to show you this real quick. So that's the buffalo. That's in South Dakota. They killed off all the buffalo so that the people, the Sioux, who we said is the Saracens, is the Shara, they were living off the buffalo. So the Union was like, oh, okay, we're just going to kill all their buffalo off. So now they got to depend on us. Even though they don't like us and they can't stand us, they still got to come get them damn EBT cards from us. Because they got to eat. Here you go. But there. All right. I'm an ancient body. This is it. See, they say you can't see it, it got to cut off, but that's Louisville, Kentucky. This is a big deal. This was a big deal. Big deal, big deal, big deal. And then they'd point to us, they'd tell us, oh, well, y'all niggas from Africa. Like, it's, you could be from anywhere. We just they from Africa. Just, your ass could be from France. Nah, you the African nigga. Yeah, African. Nigga, no. Which one I got up? Look at this one. Trapped 500 to 1,000 years ago. Mammoth Cave, 1935. 1935. Friday in 1935. Friday, 1935. Kentucky. So we're going to plan a trip out there. I'm going to do a trip to Mammoth Cave, and we're going to go the back way, Highway 150. And I'm going to have a driver, and I'm going to narrate. And we're going to be on a charter bus, and I'm going to narrate for real. And then, you know what I'm saying, we're going to narrate. William. That was William. Big way. Look at it. Hold up. I got something to couple with it. I got something to couple with that. I got something to couple right good. Perfectly. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Morris. Yeah. And this was I was reading. This is the last book I was reading to my grandma, bro. Oh my God. There's the last book when I was reading that shit to her. And it was talking about when King Edward had died. It's the chapter I was reading. And Edward was her brother. That's what I was reading to her. I was on everything I love. That was what I was reading to my grandma. Because that's where I was at in the book, and I just, you know what I'm saying? Come on. That's what I was reading to her. Feel me? So that's our bloodline. And so, that's everyday hustle like William. I'm charging the chicken just for the, what I mean? This can mean a lot. This, you know what I'm saying? This backing the trucks up into the dock. You hear me? In the midst of the war, you still telling the trucks to back on in. Ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. So, historic week, gold hit 4 racks. You know what I'm saying? So, history is made. So, what do that mean, man? That means we consistently, it's like music. This is like music. So, if history is being made as the gold price is rising and reaching all-time highs every day, then you can make history by doing something great as gold, doing something as valuable as the price of gold. You know what I mean? Because that's historic. Be a part of history. Be a part of history. So yeah, man. Hey, shout out to my brother, my family, my cousin, Chris Jordan. Today is 39th birthday, and today is also my other cousin, Sabrina. It's her birthday as well. So just want to give a big shout out to them. I mean, not Sabrina, but Kiera, my cousin Sabrina's daughter, Chris's aunt's daughter. You know what I'm saying? That's the Jordan. Again, that's the Jackie Jordan connection. You know what I mean? That's the house we come from. You know what I mean? That's the tribe of Jacob. You know what I mean? Unifying with the tribe of Jordan, the Moab. So the tribe of Yaqub, that's the tribe of Judah. You know what I mean? Reestablishing its roots through the tribe of Moab. We restoring Moab. So that's where the Morocco come into play at. So me and my son learned the 5 senses this week. And I was telling him that that's the 5-pointed stars in Morocco, but it's also the 6 senses. He pointed to his head. I was like, dang, that's right, son. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's your 6th sense. Your subconscious mind. That pineal, the third eye. You feel me? That's the unseen. That's the Amen Ra. The seen, the hidden. That's what this right here. Where the alarm clock at? Where the alarm clock? Bro, I just had it. It's right here. No. Where that shit at? Where the alarm clock? Alarm clock. What I do with it? That's so crazy. Man, I'm good for it. I'm good for it. The alarm clock. Make sure y'all go buy the alarm clock. There you go, right there. But nah, this is the alarm clock. So chapter 1. Chapter 1. The quote in chapter 1. It says, whoever cannot seek the unforeseen sees nothing, for the known way is an impasse. Heraclitus. That's chapter 1. It's the unforeseen. You feel me? That's chapter 1. That's chapter 1. That's this. That's what's tatted on me. You feel me? So we published, I made my skin. That's pig. That's more skin. You know what I mean? So these was written on our skin. This is, you know what I mean? That's them tablets. So it's the promised land. I was thinking about it today because Moshe, Moses was a Muslim. That's where you get Muhammad from, Moses. You feel me? So Moses was converting, the Hebrews to Allah, because Allah, the same practice. So, and Muhammad did his salat, multiple times. And again, I don't know if I said it on live or what, but I was telling, so that same spirit that had Heru, that's that spirit that came to Moses. You feel me? And I encountered that. It's a woman. It's not real will make the voice, a man, but it's really a woman. Like, I could be on red, like a bull, and blacked out, and be liable doing anything, and I can hear my mama voice saying, "Stay calm, son," and I click out of it. But I can only hear it. Only my mama would be able to communicate. She can communicate that to me. So that's, we covered. So for anybody that lose a mother, know that you covered, and that Allah is not going to take so much oxygen away from you, like your mom being oxygen. So there is going to be, so now it's like how people wear oxygen masks. That's wisdom. That's what keeps me alive. It's like spiritually, I got an oxygen mask when my mom, as soon as she died, the same time, Allah, the Almighty, the Most High, it's at 5:02 right now. That's what time it is. That's the alarm clock. 5:03. Feel me? So, when my mom transitioned, an oxygen mask from heaven automatically came down. And everybody was wondering, like, man, you all right? You good? Man, I was living after my mom died, respectfully, was a really incredible time for me. It wasn't bad. Like, it's worse now, like, that I'm older. But when I was young, I still had my crew. We was running, like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a real north side biker. You know what I mean? On the Huffy, all black. Had the rims, the pegs blacked out. You know what I mean? Somebody stole that bike from me, bro. I'm still mad about that. You feel me? So I wanted to take somebody else's bike. My brother Quatre, he got a bar that say, "You take, I take, and the feds rate." God dang, bro. Shout out to Quatre, bro. IV. He's mentioned in his book, he has a selection in his book, his poetry in chapter 9. You know what I mean? It's called 9 to 5. Man, 9 to 5, because I was born in 95. 10 years after J. Cole arrived. Man. I arrived on the day that Kobe died. Man. Shout out to Vanessa, because he didn't die. He really multiplied. Man. Now his daughter keeping his legacy alive. Man. So yeah, man. Get this alarm clock. They already got these in the O'Kelly library, but you're welcome to donate more. More is always better. So you can get any of my books and contribute. We got Jay Rogers' books up there. We got the Black Law Fifth Dictionary up there. We got Think and Grow Rich up there, I believe. Any of Napoleon Hill books we can get in there. And we shopping with our own people. That's the whole point. That's cooperative economics. So we getting our own. My Uncle Jimmy book, I recommend that. Band author. I think I'm gonna get one of his books to contribute to the library. So we doing this for free, but just be proud to contribute. I'm proud proud to contribute. You know what I mean? So just nomoresuitsllc.com/the Righteous Lord's Book Drive. And you could type that in on the search engines too, and it should come up. You know, just type in No More Suits Righteous Lord's Book Drive, it'll come up. And they'll give you more information, because like once you get your purchase order, you can forward that over to our email, and then that'll get you your certificate, and we'll know that book is being directed to O'Kelly, 601 South Martin Luther King Street. Yeah, and originally Bank Street. Gold hit 4 racks again today. Cause my children, it crossed back over here, it dipped back down all the way to about like 39.60, I want to say, but it came back up, and I think his high was like 430, I want to say 40.30. I don't know where it is right now. I could look real quick. If the live cut off, then I'll catch you later, RSVP for the joint. But if not, let me see. So yeah, it's at 40.25 right now. Let me see if I can get a picture. That's at 40.31. It just hopped up. From the time I just clicked off and came back on, like when you watch, it's not gonna seem like it's just that joint went from 40.25, so we got a picture of it at 40.25. Now it's at 40.31. So that might be a new all-time high. You know what I mean? I don't know what it's been doing since we've been on this live, so it probably has reached this all-time high while we was on this live again. So invest in gold. Get you some gold treasuries, man. This should be motivation for that. You know what I mean? Start you a gold treasury. Everyone knew he had no obvious heir. He was pious and always had been said to give his wife a child, and people had made a raw-ball joke of it. But if he was dying, it was a practical problem. Who would be king? Who would be king? That was something none of them knew. Though each of them may have had his theory, whatever happened, an era was ending, and probably old men of Horstead said gloomily that things would never be quite the same again. So when there was no apparent heir, they started the democracy. After it said not to. Our sovereign Lord, the king, said not to. That's what the king said. Feel me? You can't be a king unless you come from the queen. That's the only way. That's the only way. All right, man. We outie. Shout out to Street Economics. Shout out to Only Guys Allowed. Shout out to 1% Rich. Shout out to the CGO Kelly Library. Shout out to my daughter, my son, my children, my brother's children, and his children, You are my light. You give me hope when all hope is lost. Get Book of Rhymes, man. This ain't my book of rhymes. This my book of dimes. They ain't no slime. My passenger seat elite. Sheesh, they can't even get my niece. And we ain't even trying to compete. We ain't even trying to compete. We ain't even trying to compete. That's why we ain't even got on the beat. But we about to give y'all some beats. With arugula. With arugula. And kale, what the hell? With the hummus. And we might give you kale, yams, damn. And a little bit of lambs, because we coming from the house of the ram. Gyro. You ain't never had one like this before. Yamas. Yeah. Yamas, free Palestine, free Hamas. Mediterranean food, because it's coming from Yamas. Really, that's Hamas. That's a mosque. That's a mosque. That's a mosque. So we did our salat to Allah. Yeah. Sold out an event, but ironically, we can't be bought. Dang. Camel City. Talk.